When James Charles said he was unleashing his inner lawsuit, he really wasn't kidding because apparently he's suing everyone. What's up, guys? We've finally come to the closing chapter of the James Charles saga. Morphe and James have officially cut ties, and James is ready to sue. It's a mess, so let's get into it.
Exposed. Exposed. You're exposed. You're exposed. You are exposed. Exposed, 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 exposed. You are exposed, sir. I'm going to expose you. Expose you. Oh my God, expose you.
So, it took a few weeks, but late last night, James issued a statement on Twitter about everything that's come out and announced that he's stepping down from Morphe. So, let's read the statement together. James starts off by saying, "Accountability is something that I've spoken about a number of times in the past. In my most recent video, I spoke about and took accountability for my part in conversations I had with a few individuals who told me they were over the age of 18. As I said in that video, I can't show change overnight, but will over time." Now, let's stop there for a second. I honestly don't think James wrote this himself first off, because the way it's worded is structured to almost make a bad situation sound not as bad. Like, they weren't just conversations. You guys weren't talking about the weather or having a friendly little chit chat. It was much more serious than that. Also, instead of saying the actual ages of these individuals, which would sound really bad, it's worded in a way that almost reminds you that these people told him that they were over the age of 18, which automatically would take someone's attention away from how bad the situation actually is. Let's not forget, none of this would have happened if he just didn't use his power on social media to find love. He continues on, "Since posting that video, many other people have come forward with a series of misleading stories and false allegations, which have been reported on by many people, creators, and news outlets. My legal team has begun taking action against those who've spread misinformation and or created completely fake stories, as this has gone too far." Now, there have been like 2 people I think that came out with stories and later either admitted that they were fake or were proven to be fake. I think we can all agree that people making up fake stories takes away from those who actually have real stories, but once again, this is calculated. Instead of focusing on the real people who've come out, it kind of feels like he's trying to get people to feel bad for him, that some kids on TikTok are making fake stories, and all of this is happening solely because of that. We all know once the word legal action gets thrown around, it makes people with real stories afraid to come forward or report on anything out of fear of being sued. He then says, "These stories have caused many of my long-term partners to receive considerable negative feedback, one of them being Morphe." This part really confused me. Is James saying that the 2 stories that were proven to be false pretty quickly made Morphe get backlash and not the very real ones that he admitted to on camera in front of millions? Once again, this is worded so it sounds like James is getting dropped by brands over lies and not the very real things that he actually admitted to. He goes on to say, "I've loved every moment working together and I'm beyond grateful for what we've created together. That being said, I reached out to them and we mutually agreed to wind down our James Charles x Morphe collaboration, which is my only project with them." Once again, this is worded very carefully. We have James saying that he was the one who had to reach out to Morphe because they were getting so much backlash and pretty much asked to be dropped, but he was very careful not to use the word dropped because that would sound way too serious. He uses wind down, which automatically sounds way less serious and laid back, and overall, this statement just sounds like he was in control of the decision. Finally, he says, "I am continuing to take time away to learn, grow, and listen, and look forward to coming back one day in the future as a better version of myself." At the very same time that James released his statement, Morphe also released theirs. They said, "In light of the recent allegations against James Charles, Morphe and James have agreed to end our business relationship and wind down sales of the Morphe x James Charles product offering. It is and has always been Morphe's goal to create a positive, safe, and empowering space where all beauty lovers can freely share their artistry and passion for cosmetics, and Morphe is committed to furthering that goal." Now, judging by the response online, this statement isn't sitting well with people. Wind down is an interesting choice of words for ending a business relationship with someone who admitted to what James Charles admitted to. Thank you for maintaining the standard you set. Although, I could have done without hearing about how James has also agreed to parting ways. I have no interest in what has agreed to. Morphe and James have agreed? I didn't know that was able to agree to end their business relationship. A lot of people are now looking back at last year when Morphe dropped Jeffree Star, and they're saying the wording of the statements between the two are like night and day. Last year, Morphe wrote, "Today, we've made the difficult decision to cease all commercial activity related to Jeffree Star and affiliated products. We expect this to conclude within the coming weeks. As we look forward to the future, we will continue to share updates on what lies ahead for the Morphe brand." Now, when you compare the two side by side, I definitely think they worded Jeffree's departure statement a bit more stern and to the point. They said they were ceasing all activity related to Jeffree and it would conclude within weeks. Yet with James, they're saying they're going to slowly wind down the sales of his palette. It does seem much more relaxed, doesn't it? Overall, like I said, I feel like the two statements from Morphe and James are very calculated, which I mean I can understand from Morphe as a business, but even more so with James. I'm sure James probably does feel angry that he's losing Morphe, which was his one and only makeup collab that probably made him millions, but at the end of the day, his actions caused this reaction. He had 2 years after By Sisters to turn everything around, but unfortunately, it seems like things just got worse. Anyways guys, let me know what you think about everything down below. If you liked the video, hit the thumbs up button because it really does help my channel, and I'll see you next time.